Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning trading room. Sorry, I'm a little bit late here this morning. I was dealing with some issues with the programmers. Okay. Yeah, okay, got the screen share going on. Here we are with the NASDAQ. Now, yesterday, the NASDAQ was pretty much in a free fall the whole session. All you had to do was short and hold on, but you can see here through the overnight, the market made a little bit of a recovery and a big roller coaster. And we're actually starting the day pretty much from where we left off. A lot of bars printing here. You can see with the timestamps, there's a whole lot of trading going on here at the moment. And actually, all that added volatility is quite nice. And so long as there's enough follow through there, it's always welcome. It's certainly better than watching the proverbial paint drying on your chart. David, you have no idea. David making a little comment here about the programmers. You have no idea. David's also asking, hi Eric, I saw on YouTube a class you gave, mostly on the trade manager, that mentioned the Roadrunner. Is that something used by Indicator Warehouse? Yes, now the Roadrunner, hold on here a second, while we're waiting for opening range to kind of do its thing. Let me quickly build you a chart for the Roadrunner, because many of you will be unfamiliar with this. The Roadrunner is it's an alternate system. It's I get a lot of questions about the Roadrunner, what it is, how it compares to the Raptor. Hold on here a second. I can't do two things at once, so let me find. Let me find the Roadrunner here. I think that's all of it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Roadrunner system. And what makes it different from the Raptor is, well, it's not quite as sophisticated. It does still give some signal prompts. It does use moving averages and filters. The moving averages are tweaked. It also seems to work reasonably well, or it's designed to work well on a time-based chart. So for those people who don't have tick data. And it's essentially a system where you're looking for signal confluence. So for instance here, let me enlarge this a little bit. So here we produce a buy signal, right? We want to make sure that the filter is also in sync, which it seems to be. Generally, what I would be looking for is a break above the signal bar. Here was a sell signal. Once again, you want to make sure that the filter is in sync. There will be signals, like for instance, right now, you're producing a sell signal. The filter is not in sync. So that's a signal that we would avoid. Here's another buy signal. And once again, you want to make sure the filter is in sync. The nice thing, like I say, about the Raptor, two things really: the fact that it can be used on a time-based chart, and because it's less sophisticated, it's not as expensive. But it's still a nice alternative for those people who are looking for a trading system, but perhaps don't want to make the investment in the DTS system or the Raptor, or sometimes they can't get the tick data. I know a few traders who have been dealing with outfits like Interactive Brokers. Goodness only knows why Interactive Brokers doesn't provide tick data, but they don't. So that makes things a little bit more difficult as well. Yeah, Mark, it is an indicator warehouse tool. It's not, it's available on the website. And here, I'll find the spot because everybody's so curious about it now. So if you go to the indicator warehouse page and you just go to the search window and you type in Roadrunner, you'll get a little bit of information about the Roadrunner. All right, so it's, like I say, it's not a system that we promote heavily because it is not quite as sophisticated as the other tools, but it's a little bit of a bridge, you know, for, like I say, for the traders that may not be interested in making a large investment in a trading system. But it's a pretty cool system. It's performed well in testing. If my clone finally showed up, I'd be able to host a Roadrunner room alongside the DTS and Raptor rooms. All right, so here we are out of the gate, and already, wow, look at all these bars that have unfolded already within the first 10 minutes of trading. Got a fast move up. Market goes a little bit sideways, and here we are retracing all of it and back into a little bit of a downward slide. Currently in scalp mode, but only for 7 minutes, so that doesn't mean all that much. It does tell us that the market is transitory. All right, well, as tempting as it is just to short something, I think I will try to hold out for a hard edge bounce or something. It's still very early. Yeah, Mark writes, it looks interesting, but I'm not sure I need it with the total success I've had with DTS. No, I don't think so either. Like I said, it developed partly as bridge software, where the Raptor wasn't quite meeting the needs of the people who were inquiring, or it was just too expensive. Because, hey, let's face it, the DTS system is not a cheap trading solution, but as with most things, you do get what you pay for. Alrighty, a little bit of a pullback. My goodness, look at these guys go. So where have we got a resistance line? Look at how broad our resistance lines are. This is crazy. This is all because of yesterday's volatility. As volatility increases, you're going to find that your support and resistance lines tend to get a little bit broader as well. So let's see here to the upside. I forgot to make note of what that next resistance line, the primary resistance sitting at 70.87. That would be a huge move. After the initial rally and sell-off. Crazy. Yeah, interesting comment here from Mark. Mark says, supposedly all this selling is due to interest rate fears. I'm not sure I buy into all that, but wow, what a bunch of down days lately. We had to know we were in for a correction at some point, and you are so correct. As you probably remember when we were looking at the daily, and certainly back here, we were already considering a correction. We had all these tiny bars and all this big volume. So volume tends to have a direct correlation with the bar. So if you have a big bar, a very strong bar that closes near the low or near the high, it should also have a reasonable amount of volume with it to represent all that buying and selling. But when you get tiny bars that aren't going anywhere, and you're still getting above average volume, that tells you that something's not quite right. And usually what that means is a reversal. Not always. Occasionally it can lead to a breakout. Usually it means a reverse. And that's certainly what we saw here. We saw some very bearish days, 3 very strong bearish days, even though this day did have a very, very long tail to it. And once again, you can see we got the volume matching the bars. We got strong bars, strong volume. And then we get a little sideways kind of day, again, above average volume for such a tiny bar. So what's going on? What's causing all that volume in there? Well, it's probably sellers positioning themselves, and boom, down they go. Now, of course, all the talking heads are going to be running around saying, oh, the sky is falling. But in actual fact, we have been anticipating this for a while. I do have to admit, though, I didn't think it would reach 7,000 this quickly. I thought we were going to hold up here around 72, 73 for sure. I thought would give us a little bit more support. Obviously, a whole lot of other traders did as well because, like I said, the market just came unstuck yesterday. Thing with the news that you have to remember, and it does not matter the market you are following, the news always fits what happens in the market, not the other way around. The market does not fit the news. Now, that's not to say there aren't some news-driven events, but as a rule, reporters will make the news fit what's going on in the marketplace. See, as a reporter, they always have a causal type mentality. They see the world through a news filter. So if the market is moving lower, well, there must be a reason. Let's find out the reason for the market moving lower. If the market's moving higher, there must be a reason. Let's find the reason for the market moving higher. Whether or not that reason is the actual reason is open to debate. See, now we're getting a strong session. So what are they gonna say about today? What are they gonna find as the reason for the market rallying? So just a little FYI, you gotta take the news with a grain of salt. It's best, I think it's best not to have the television on when you're trying to trade. They're always two steps behind, really. And that's not where we want to be. Okay, so what started off as a fairly bearish looking day has now come back with a strong bull day. Here again, look at the trade forecaster cycling between trend and scalp modes. And once again, it's under 10 minutes here. I wouldn't take it too seriously. It's more likely that we're going to see another reverse of sorts. Wow, if you had the fortitude for this, look at the moves here. Here we are now, 70.87, crazy. All right, let's see if we get maybe a hard edge bounce. I don't know. You can make a case either way for this market. You can make a case that it's bullish. You can make a case that it's bearish. One thing is for certain, it is wild. All right, let's put that away before I do something silly. Okay, a little counter trend signal here. Of course, if you think that the market is with trend, then that would, with trend lower, then that would actually be a with trend signal, not a counter trend signal. Yeah, Mark, I agree. Like Mark says, either way, the buyer's not ready to give up just yet. And just consulting the daily chart again, they got room to move. You know, if you kind of look at where the market bottomed out before here around 73, you got all that room from 7,000 to 7,300 that the buyers can potentially fill. And that is a lot of space. So, no, the buyers are still in the mix. And if you look at the markets long term, the stock market has been advancing for, oh my goodness, how many decades? It's not likely to stop advancing. but if they keep this up, I may not have a chance to get in. This market is just moving so fast. I feel like just picking up on any old buy signal. See, here we have a buy signal. Nothing fancy, just a buy signal covered to the hard edge. Oop, can't do it. That's what's always so tempting when the market is in this runaway mode. It's moving so darn fast. I may have to get ready just to hit the buy button. Well, that would have worked out. That little signal right there hit the profit target anyway. Wow, this is just insane. Yeah, Mark, you're right. Mark says, I haven't seen numbers like this on the day ranger in months, maybe ever. Look at yesterday's range, 1932. I don't think I've ever seen 4 digits on the day ranger. Today we're already up to 700. It's wild. Oh my gosh, the market is wild. Okay, I got a number 3 signal, but I'm afraid to take it. I do have a second push opportunity on it. The market's just been so crazy. Can I cover it there? All right, here we go. Okay, they're pulling back a little bit. All right, I can cancel that order. So the number 2 signal actually getting some follow through. A little bit better pullback now to the second hard edge. Okay, I think I'm just going to be waiting a little while longer here. Wait for the frenzy to die down. Wowie. Now, they moved a little bit too fast for me. I was actually looking for this hard edge bounce signal right here. Because as they encounter the second hard edge of the trading band, this is the one, if the market's going to get some giddy up to it, that's the one you want to look for a signal on. Now, it did not print a number 3 signal here, but that was only because the clouds were out of sync. It is still a hard edge bounce, however. And like I said, unfortunately, I was just a little bit late getting to that one. Here on the Eagle, you can see it very plainly as well. Turns into a red bar buy, which on the Eagle is a very strong signal. Oh, brother. Like I said, it's so tempting just to hit the buy button. Hit the buy button and hold on. Oh, we're going to get a late filter entry signal here in the Falcon. And there it is right now. Can I get it in? Okay, they're pulling back a little bit so I can get a slightly better setup on that. This is a wild day today. And honestly, I'm not sure I want to be into a trade just yet because the market is so insane. Look at that, just the back and forth. No, they're still too volatile. That's rare for a late filter entry signal like that to fail. Unfortunately, they're not 100% accurate. And I suppose the ideal stop would have been down here, but you know what? That's enough to try it. Whew. What are they going to do now? Back into the hard edge. Come on, computer. Keep up. So we're back into the hard edge. I'm going to try a buy again. Come on. Oh, now see, we're still waffling between scalp mode and trend mode. We just keep going back and forth on those. I'm not sure I've ever seen that either. That's kind of rare. All right, well, let's put that away. Still a lot of volatility here and the potential for a rather substantial move lower. When the market makes these huge moves, it's sometimes really difficult to get a handle on who is in control of the market. At one moment, it looks like the buyers. The next, it looks like it's the sellers. Wow. Oh, what's going on here today? This is extreme trading. Okay, so now we're back to the primary resistance line here at 70.87. Yeah, just got some huge ranges there. Well, you know, sometimes when the market moves this fast, it's hard to keep up. A good suggestion here from Steven. Steven says, since the markets are moving so fast, why don't you increase your tick bars? That's a great suggestion, actually. And hold on here. I'm not going to change these. Rather, I'm just going to build another chart so you can see what that would look like. Now, when you change your brick size, so here now, the Raptor with on a 20 tick brick, but you'll notice the band doesn't look quite right, even though, you know, we've had some pretty decent signals just the way it is. Usually what you would do is you would adjust your band as well. So you go to your indicator window, and the rough relationship is that your fast band is the same size as your ticks. Your slower band or larger band is 1.5 times your ticks, and your hawk is 3/4 of your tick size. So for a 20 tick bar, that would be a 20 tick fast cloud, a 30 tick slow cloud, and a 15 tick hawk. When I apply those settings, you can see what it does is it stretches out the cloud a little bit more. It did eliminate some of those secondary signals, but we're kind of looking at the overall picture here now. And what you want to do is you want to, whenever you change your settings, if you're curious how they're working, what you want to do is you want to go through and you want to see how the signals have responded. You want to be able to trust the signals when they print. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to negate every poor signal. You can see this particular number one signal a little bit late, but we did get the early number one signal back there. But for the most part, it looks like most of the signals are responding quite well. Now, for me, this is going to be a little bit out of reach, trying to cover a trade here. Trying to cover a trade here is going to be almost impossible. So if I did this number two and I wanted to go two swings back, yeah, there's no way that's going to happen. Just because the brick size is too big. See, it's going to require over $700 to make that trade work, but that doesn't mean the chart is not without value. You kind of get a better feel for what's going on. This chart shows you much better the trend than this chart, right? Which is a little bit more sensitive. So I like that suggestion, Stephen. I think that's a great idea. If for nothing, no other reason, just to have a little perspective on what's going on. And in fact, I will keep that handy for now. Vincent asks, how can I get my DTS charts to look like yours? Well, I didn't change any, well, I did change some of the colors. So while we're waiting for things to simmer down here a little bit, here on the Hawk, if you go into your colors, I changed my buy alert to lime and my sell alerts to light coral. And then here on the Falcon, I think I did the same thing. And you know, just play with it, choose whatever color you like. So I used lime and, oh, I used lime and light coral again. And then on the line, well, I guess those are the only settings I changed. On the eagle, I'm not sure I changed anything on the eagle. Oh, yes, I did too. Same thing. Lime and light coral for the red. And we discussed this the other day with the ATR line displayed. So you just go into your program assortment, your indicator assortment, you find the one labeled IWTM ATR trail. This is what the trade manager uses to plot the trade manager dots. And if you apply that to your chart, you'll get this squiggly red and blue line. And again, it's kind of like a filter. You're going to find that the signals which are in sync with the filter, with the ATR, will have a tendency to work out better than those that are against. Trade forecaster now in swing mode for 5 minutes, after which it's going back into trend mode, so the volatility continues. So if we're looking at our 20 tick Raptor, we just produced a number one signal. So according to the bird's eye view, if you pardon the pun, we would be more inclined for a short opportunity. So here we just printed the number one signal. Doggone it if that one doesn't run away on me. Brutal. Just brutal here this morning. All right, we're at the 70-60 area, likely to zone in on 70-50. Oh man, look at that thing go. They're taking all the fun out of it. This is like crude oil used to be. Okay. Oh. I almost thought we were going to get a little bit of a bullish uptick there. Almost. The Falcon was trying to get to turn over. Oh, here we go again. Okay, I'm going to try that. I'm just going to buy in with that number two signal that just developed. The reason being is we're back down here around the 70-50 area. This is where the market lit it up the last time. This is where they really got some giddy up. Come on, don't fail me now. Oh, and there's that darn number three signal. Come on back with a number two signal, you guys. This is very risky if I didn't point that out earlier. If I really need to explain it to you, this is a very risky move. Oh, they're going to spank me here. Wow. All right. Have it your way. Okay, I think I'm done until this volatility simmers down. I I don't think I'll be trying any other trades. I dipped my toe in the water twice, got tagged both times. Like I say, until this volatility simmers down, it's just going to be really, really difficult trading. I think given the strong move out of the open to the upside, I do think the market owes me a rally. Okay, now we're getting a little bit more bullish. So as per usual, I might have been right just a little bit too early. Okay, and here now we got the trend change on the Falcon. Doggone it, look at them go now. All right, I said I wasn't going to, but I am. So here, now I'm going to call this an early number one. Am I seeing something that isn't there? Oh man, the things we rationalize as traders. Okay, so there it is. There's the early number one signal. Oh, look at the slippage. Slippage is huge. So the early number one signal, it's not a signal that will print because the clouds are not fully crossed, but you can, it's a little bit of a judgment call because we're anticipating the clouds to cross, and I need to get a tighter stop going here. Okay. Well, made a little bit back on that. That's all right. Whew. Wow. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to do too many things at once, and as you know, I can't multitask. The early number one signal is a very useful signal. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not going to print with a signal prompt. So it's going to require a little bit of a judgment call on your part. Whenever we encounter the hard edge, we anticipate a reaction. All right, but you can see as we encounter the hard edge, we're printing buy dots. There are no sell dots here. So no sell warning dots, unlike here, where we come into the hard edge and all of a sudden we start producing some warning dots to short. All right, so we're into the hard edge, we're producing buy dots. The clouds are starting to cross. They're not fully crossed. It's about a 50-50 cross at this point. That's why I said it's a little bit of a judgment call to try to take this trade. But the nice thing about the early number one signal is, of course, you get that early momentum. Once the clouds fully cross and you get that pullback, you will print the proper number one signal. And it looks like today it would have worked out just fine to take that early number one signal, or pardon me, that later number one signal. But what can happen if the market is moving really, really fast is sometimes you'll get that number one signal and you'll look back in your chart and it will be, darn it waited too long. So, like I said, a little bit of a judgment call. It's something that you can anticipate, and sometimes with very good results. Okay, well, it was nice to get a little bit of that back. Ooh, here they go again to the short side. Wow, look at them go. Unreal. What's interesting too is when you get these little sideways ranges, especially on a strong trending day like today, you get these little blocks where the market is kind of stuck for a few minutes. And very often you'll see a significant breakout when it gets outside of that little trading range. So those little trading ranges, something to keep a lookout for. Actually, I guess this one could have been a little bigger. And very often the breakout will come with trend, as you can see. Oh, spoke too soon. That one reversed higher. Easily a four-figure day today if if we could get on board here without the market exploding past us all the time. Here we go again with the uptick, maybe. Well, are they settling into a sideways mode? Or are they going to try to pick up the uptrend again? Almost looks that way. Okay, here's just your random buy signal. And what I'm looking for here is resumption of trend. And did I get it? Okay, well, I got a little bit of it. The swing's rather volatile. So we had the green Geiger counter. This was just one of these discretionary signals. I missed the number one signal because it unfolded too quickly. And I thought, okay, the market's heading up, so I just want to buy off one of those discretionary signals. I missed this one too here. It would have been a nice one to try to buy back in. Oh my. You definitely want to make sure you have an active stop in play. And the slippage is crazy here today. I'm with you, Stephen. Stephen says maybe later in the day it will get slower and I can make a trade. It's fun to watch, but it is so hard to trade when the market is like this. We're kind of losing a lot of our directionality again as we're getting another one of these little sideways clusters building. And there's a buy opportunity, second push opportunity on it. Can I cover it? I can. I don't know. Do the buyers have enough left? You can still make a strong case for a downtrending market. Oh, they didn't slip me on that one. That's nice for a change. Here, trade manager still waffling. Trend mode, scalp mode, trend mode. If we can get above this high, actually, I think that's where I'll put my break even. Okay, so looks like we tagged the break even, and I will get my bar high low ready, which is a much more aggressive stop strategy, and I did, hooray, I didn't need it. Oh, wow. Don't tell me I should have let that one run. Oh, what a wild day. That was a pretty good trade, though. I'm uh, not unpleased. I know that's stupid. Hey, Eric, you made money on the trade. But I got a decent fill and decent follow through. And we could kind of see it coming. Right? We had that little bit of a sideways congestion period. Got the signal, got a second push opportunity on the signal. And just with the crazy amount of volatility here today, not too much difficulty getting up to the profit objective. Well, I dug myself out of my earlier hole and posted a little bit of a profit as well, so can't say I'm disappointed with that. If I could just train myself to avoid those early trades that always seem to set me behind the 8 ball, I would be in much better shape. But oh well, such is trading. The buyers are going to have to get busy here and defend their rally attempt. This now that big 20 tick chart. So we saw the rally attempt. This was actually a number 2 signal right here. Did not print as a number 2 signal because there were just too many bars between the low and the signal printing. But you can plainly see it is a number 2 signal. There's our trend. Here is the retest of the trend, and there's the reverse. So just as things started to look more bullish, what's going on? We're kind of back here in neutral territory now. Are they going to make another rally? It's so conflicted. Look how neutral everything is. Lots of yellow bars coming in here on the hawk. Are we an hour in? Oh yes, we are. We're an hour into the session, so that explains a lot. And we're starting to waffle on the signals. We're starting to get a little bit of candy striping going on. Oh, decent follow through on that number 3 signal. But again, it kind of developed very, very quickly. And here they head lower again. Wow. Well, it wasn't that long ago I was complaining about not having enough volatility, so I guess careful what you wish for. All right, again, a little bit of waffling here, a little bit of sideways congestion. We'll see whether we get a bearish break out of that, if that's going to be with trend. We're back in this whole 70-60 zone, which has sparked the market before. It's encouraged the buyers to step up. We'll see whether it does it again. See, we got down here to 70-60. That's where we got that nice little rally about 10 minutes ago. Just a wild and crazy ride. Things settling a little bit, or so it seems. The bar's still unfolding rather quickly, but the ranges are non-existent. Oh, look at that. Spoke too soon. $70.50, another number that sparked buying before. You can see here the Falcon already, the trend line starting to respond. I don't know if I want to go and actually start buying it again, but there is the buy opportunity. So today really depends on how you envision the day. Do you think the market is more bullish or bearish? See, the last time we got down here, over here, this was the result. All right, so last time we were here, this was the result. It's not unreasonable to expect the buyers to try to rally the market again. Of course, if it comes back down here toward the 70-50 area, then it's probably a better indication that the sellers are in control. And you can see here we're getting a hard edge bounce off of our large tick chart, and that would have given us a comparable signal here in the faster chart. Right there, there's your hard edge bounce. So if they fail here around the, looks like around the 70-40 zone, oh yeah, Mark says the Hawk had a 4-arrow consolidation. Yeah, 4 arrows and then some, but decent follow through all the same. Craziness. Yeah, Mark says more like a 7-arrow consolidation. That's exactly what it is. The E-mini with good follow through today, not quite as volatile as the NASDAQ here. Okay, the Hawk, the Falcon, the Raptor, all looking a little bit more bullish now, and there's the subsequent push higher. Once again, into the hard edge here of the Eagle, and we're producing a green bar sell. I don't know if I would be so excited to be trading around anywhere around 70-50, 70-60. Excuse me. It's just, like I said, this is where the buyers picked up the market before. There is a chance they will do it again. Trade forecaster settling down a little bit, says we are going to remain in trend mode here for the next little while, which would be nice. Okay, here we're going to get a rule of three signal, even though we're only going to have two signals, counter trend. Well, if we produce that next counter trend signal, no, not yet. The market's still very content to be heading lower. I don't think we're quite near the low of the morning. Oh, we're close. So somewhere near 7,000 was where the day began, and we're making tracks in that direction. Okay, here again with some bullishness coming back into the marketplace. Here on the Raptor again, the early number one signal, so the clouds almost fully crossed. We have the pullback. The next buy signal would confirm the early number one. So we could almost we could almost entertain a buy. Oh dear, or not. Okay, so now things a little bit more bearish again. I'm leaning to the buy side only because of the trades I've done today. The buy trades are the ones that have paid off. So I do have a tendency to stay with the side that seems to be performing. But honestly, though, having nabbed a couple profitable trades, having squared up my earlier loss, printing a number in the black, my day would be done. We'll just stay in the room here for a few minutes. We'll close it up at the top of the hour. But I would not be pressing my luck on a day like today. We're still kind of waffling a little bit. Oh, wow, that is exciting. Mark's off to, says his wife found her 92-year-old birth mother after 60 years. That's amazing. She and her newfound sister are coming to visit today through Monday. Well, that is exciting news. All right, you guys, I think we're going to button up shop here. If you are going to hang out here for the remainder of the day, I think, like Stephen said, what you can hope for is just maybe the market to subside a little bit, give you a chance to get back in. I do believe they owe me another rally, so I would not be opposed to a buying opportunity through here. But in spite of the extreme volatility today, if you take a look at the daily chart, the market's still very, very neutral. Of course, if it gets below yesterday's lows, or today's lows for that matter, if it gets below 7,000, expect more selling to ensue. All right, I will see you tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.